everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. If you like that type of guitar sound, this video is definitely for you, because today I'm going to show you a very unusual tuning for a Telecaster style guitar. It's C# standard, and it's not my first video about this, but I have a couple of tips, tricks, licks and riffs that I want to show you how you can get started and bring this type of instrument to life in a different way. So just a quick plug before we get started, my melodic soloing guitar course in the description down below is 20% off for a limited amount of time. It deals with all aspects of my solo playing, my sense of melody. So if you want to learn that, it's totally learnable. It's a super digestible course and you can get 20% off for a limited amount of time. Check it out in the description down below. Okay, let's tune up. C# standard tuning pretty much means we're tuning the entire guitar down 3 half steps. So you end up with C#, F#, B, E, G#, C#. And the cool thing about this is you don't need fatter strings to do this, and you don't need a neck adjustment or anything like this. You can just tune it down with the strings you have on right now. A regular set of 10s is going to be fine because it's going to feel a little bit more bendy, but that's the charm of the tuning and you should embrace that. Now let me show you what I played in the beginning. It's a cool example of why this tuning works so well with the Telecaster. We start with a C# power chord here, go into a E major 11, so that would be 3, X, 4, 0, 3, into an F# major with the open string, so that would be 0, 7, 6, 0, 0. And these chords together already sound like it's an entire band, and that is because the tuning is so low and you have the walking bass line. It sounds like it's a guitar and a bass together. Listen. Sounds so good. It's a great starting point. Now, why does this sound so good? It combines the sparkle of the top of a Telecaster that is still there with C# standard tuning. So you have all the ringing, all the sparkle, all the brightness on top, and you have that droning low bass. It sounds like a full band with just one guitar, and the combination of a low tuning so the bottom gets bigger and the sparkle of a Telecaster really makes for an awesome combination. Now once you feel familiar with these 3 chords, you can start sliding into these as I did at the beginning. Let me show you. 4, 5, 4 on the D string. And then I do a pull off here, and then I slide from the 4th to the 7th fret on the G string into the F#. So all combined. That just sounds so nice in this tuning, right? Now, the second reason why this tuning works so well with the Telecaster is you keep the twang, but you eliminate part of the harshness. Let me show you. Here's our backing track with the same riff. Now, as I start soloing, you will hear we keep all the twang and the character of the Telecaster intact, but part of that super harsh brightness that some Teles have just goes away from tuning it down. So we tame some of the super brittle highs, but we keep the twang. Listen. Sounds smooth enough, but still has twang, right? I mean, that just goes to show that you kind of transform this Telecaster into a different instrument when you tune it down to C-sharp standard, because part of the frequencies are just erased or just not as, prevalent anymore. And others, the ones that you want to keep, they just stay. So I think this is an awesome tuning for a Telecaster. The next thing I want to show you that works incredibly well in this tuning with the Telecaster, and you can use right now because it's super easy, is just a 2-chord combination that goes back and forth, and it sounds so good. So check this out. We got this A major 11 up here. So this is 8, X, 9, 0, 8. This is our first chord, and then we just slide that chord shape down to the 3rd fret and do the exact same thing. This is our E major 11 from the beginning. Exact same chord shape down here. Exact same strings. Now if you combine these chords and just go back and forth, something beautiful happens. Listen. Sounds so nice and droning, right? How good does that sound? Just soloing over it in, your typical E minor pentatonic scale. Just so cool. And as you can hear, this is droning real nicely, and usually a Telecaster doesn't drone that way. It's just a tactile instrument to have these kinds of frequencies, but when you tune it down to C-sharp standard, these kinds of chords just pop out of that guitar, and it inspires you in a different way. It inspires you to play differently. I can definitely feel it when I'm playing right now. I'm just starting to solo over this. I'm just playing my solos totally differently because I'm reacting to these lower droning kind of chords. Now I can already see a question coming up here, and that is, will this work with other guitars as well? The answer is yes and no. So obviously you can tune down any guitar to C-sharp standard, but you shouldn't expect the same results from, let's say, a Les Paul, because a Les Paul style guitar is already very boomy, very bassy. So if you tune it down and the frequency spectrum shifts a little bit down too, it just makes for a more dark and dull kind of instrument. So it can work when you dial in your amp correctly, but I think the beauty of this tuning or this combination that I just showed you is that you have a bright sounding guitar and you tune it down into a darker sounding tuning, so you get the best of both worlds pretty much. So yes, you can use any guitar with that, but that kind of sparkle and that kind of romantic flair you get from a Tele in this low tuning, I think you can reproduce this with, let's say, a Les Paul. The other thing that might be worth mentioning is that you should probably try this with a fixed bridge, because if you try this with a tremolo guitar, it might result in an absolute nightmare to adjust the guitar in a way that is actually playable again. So do this with a fixed bridge first, and if you think it's the right thing to do for you and you want to go down further that road, you can definitely try it with a tremolo guitar as well and just make adjustments. But for now, if you want to try this in front of your computer or wherever, try a fixed bridge because you just tune it down and it works. Simple. That's it for today's video, guys. I hope you learned something today. I hope you liked the C-sharp standard tones I was getting with this guitar. Definitely go and try this out. You'll be surprised how cool it actually sounds. I hope you learned something today, and I hope you liked this video. Subscribe, because we do that stuff all the time. And until then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.